Hi, and welcome to my first online tutorial. Today we're going to be learning how to create our own dubstep remix. I'm using an iMac computer and I've chosen to use the Garageband software which comes with the machine. The aim of this session is to import a track from iTunes into Garageband and to work out how fast it is. This is really important if everything else we add to the track is going to sit neatly in time with it. Next time we'll look at how to create the dubstep beat itself. So here we go. So the first thing we need to do is to get our track from iTunes and bring it into Garageband. We can do this by following the shortcut at the bottom right hand side of the screen. This calls up iTunes, and rather than scrolling through the whole thing, let's type in the name of the track. I've chosen Crystal Clear by Young Guns, and I'm going to click and drag that into the session. Let's get rid of that again by clicking on the same icon, and there you have it. Before we listen to this, we're just going to check that there's no wasted time at the beginning of the track. To see if there is, we're going to pull this toggle along, which zooms right in, and you can see that there's a bit of time there, probably not very long, but it will make all the difference if we can neaten that up. So if we go to the control menu, turn off snap to grid, this allows us to edit freely and not always having to snap to the beat that Garageband thinks we should be counting along with. So if I pull the edit tool along, just get rid of all that wasted space at the start and then pull the track back to the beginning. I'm going to zoom back out so I can see a bit more, and before we play it again I'm going to be listening to see what happens over here, because it looks to me like there's a bit of a gap in the music. So here we go. So what we just heard was the end of the introduction, and then after the short pause, the beginning of the verse. Now the verse begins on beat 1 of a new bar, but if we line up our scroll bar with where that starts on the track, we can see that in the Garageband session that's not starting on beat 1 of bar 6 here, it's actually halfway through. What I'm going to do now is turn down the Young Guns track so you can hear me counting, and I'm going to turn off the metronome so that the Garageband tempo doesn't conflict with what we're trying to do here. I'm going to press return or the enter key so that the scroll bar goes back to the beginning, and I'm going to play the track again and count the bars. If we have more than 6 bars, we'll know the Young Guns are playing faster than Garageband is counting, and if we have less than 6 bars, we'll know that we need to slow the Garageband counter down. So here we go. 4, bar 2, 4, bar 3, 4, bar 4, 2, 3, 4, 1. So we had 4 bars, and Garageband reckoned that there should be 6. So we obviously need to slow Garageband down a little bit. They're getting a bit ahead of themselves. So if we take the cursor down to this LCD display at the bottom of the screen, and we use these little arrows here to navigate round, we can find where it says tempo, the musical word for speed, and it says 120. I'm going to pull this down. I've already done a bit of playing around with this, and I think that we should be somewhere around 88 beats per minute. If I'm right, then the metronome in Garageband will click along in time with the track. So you'll notice that the ruler at the top of the screen has changed now, so we need to put it back to bars and beats. At the moment it's on seconds, so we can do that there, and send the scroll bar back to the beginning, control to turn the metronome back on, and let's have a listen. And That sounds pretty good to me.